Hey, everybody. We'll get it out of the way quick. Why is this man smiling?
For the horns, man. It reminds me of the Bend, Oregon, man, you know. Now, the real question is, did you turn them on or did you just leave them on from last week?
They've been going all week. Help me.
All this and more when you come back after our kick-ass opening sequence. I mean, of course, why is Mark Weber smiling? Because it's Tuesday night. It's 9 p.m. It's time for the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. How's everybody doing?
Ooh.
One of these days, Racktime Rob, gonna learn to not talk during the intro so I can get it out. Just one of these days.
We'll fix it in post.
Aren't you close enough to mute his mic?
I in the foolish hopes I have that he's picked up on this after however many months of full-time hosting, I am just continually disappointed.
I don't think that he's not smart enough to do it. I think he's just the older brother and messing with you.
He's just a dick. That's really what it is. I know all the nice things I said about him on Joe Slepsky's show last week. All lies. All just FaceTime for Slepsky.
You want me to ban him? Do you want me to ban him with all his Russian bots?
I mean, that's up to you, man. I'll give you the power.
Just saying.
But joining me here in the only row,
right?
He's the former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro. It's the Hot Show, Mark Weber.
I feel like it's a sidebar almost, right? Like, yeah, I finally arrived. Look at this. Normally, I used to be only 25% of the show, but then 33. But now I got 50-50, baby. We got joint custody right now.
Halfway there. Oh, wait.
Right? We just put Rob to sleep, and that's okay. Oh, wake up, Rob. We got a show.
I'm fired with them.
Right. Yeah, and sporting his fine mullet in the bottom row, as the hair is already getting long again, because that's what it does for us here in the Irizarry clan. It just grows. We're like the Play-Doh barber shop with legs.
I could use some of that.
It's Racktime Rob.
Hello, all you good people.
Look at that. The energy level.
You know, Weber, I was looking for a picture for the thumbnail this past week. So, of course, I was combing through your Facebook.
Oh, boy.
There's a picture of you as a boy. And you have a shock of the fire hair.
Yeah. And you can see it curling right now. It gets curly when it gets any length at all. So I got to try to keep it under control. Now it's escaping from me. Maybe it's for the best. We'll see. I do. We didn't pub this up enough, but tonight on What's on Joe Mind, we are going to have an exclusive interview with the old G.I. Joe team. So that's good, right? That's me.
We have that every week, but as you know, Mark, well-reasoned and thought-out discussion do not gather hits and subscribers. It's
do softball questions?
Softball questions, I guess. I don't know. We tend not to ask those, so I don't know. We ask silly questions, certainly, but not softballs.
So, Mark, who's your favorite baseball team that ends in Anki? Think about that one. I'll get back to you.
It's the Sankeys.
Right. It's the Bankies. Let's go, Bankies. Let's go, Bankies.
Oh, yeah. I know it's going around in the live chat now. We are currently waiting for nasty weather here in central Indiana. So if we go out
any moment.
Right. Sorry. If it happens, it happens.
Well, they canceled a whole bunch of stuff at the school tonight in anticipation, which means we're going to get nothing.
Right.
And if the storm knocks out Mike and Rob, it's not like it becomes the Weber show. It doesn't work like that.
No, there is no
if the
There's no
mothership
backup generator at the Weber house.
no, if the mothership doesn't fund, there are no toys. That's how it works.
That's about right?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I had no time to prep for this week's show, so I apologize in advance. This is going to be probably a little short and probably a little light because I had to actually work during the day today.
Boo.
Which never happens, right? I had an all department meeting. I had to go all the way downtown and spend a good chunk of my day downtown on the Indiana University Indianapolis campus amidst all the fine fountains that they do have on that campus. Shout out to the IUI campus. But it was nuts. It was just, I am so tired right now. It is beyond belief. So if things get punchy, I'm just sorry now. If you're catching us on the Facebook tonight, be sure to give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. And if you're catching us on the YouTube, of course, do all those cool YouTube things. Hit that like button over there and the subscribe button over there. Leave us a big boy comment down below. Share us in all of your G.I. Joe groups on Facebook or your Reddit pages or your Discord servers or whatever. We don't care. Just share us around. We're gonna grow as much as you guys want us to. And frankly, you've all been a little lazy with the clicks lately. So let's click it up, everybody. Come on. Click it up.
We are big on the dark web, but that's hard.
Click it up.
Hard to track the dark web.
Yeah. It is. We have, from what I understand, exponential growth on the dark web this week, or none at all. I can't tell you.
No, we're really big on Napster. That's good.
Our MySpace page
blowing up.
Our Alta Vista stream is phenomenal.
Sorry, my desk is a mess. I've got all my work stuff out. I'm really just not prepared today.
But when you say all my work stuff, you mean like 20 or 30 beachheads, right?
No, actually, right now just one.
There's a couple flashes and Crimson Guards in there.
No, the Crimson Guard that I got last week or 2 weeks ago is still out. The Lamprey that I got a couple of weeks ago is out, but the boat is put away. The Clutch that I got back at Kentuckiana, he's out, but the Vamp is put away. So I've made some progress in getting organized this week, but my desk is kind of a mess as a result of that. Yeah, it's absolutely no fun on my desk right now, which is strange. Normally I have at least a half dozen beachheads just at my disposal to organize and like gymnastics pyramids and cool fight scenes and go ahead.
Can we grab Cheapest Big Spender there? Because he's spreading gossip and rumor I don't like.
Cheapest Big Spender asking, why is he smiling? Was he allowed back in Target?
Let's be very clear here. Target didn't dump me.
Yeah,
I broke up with Target. I dumped their ass.
When Mark drives past Target, they roll a red carpet out, hoping to entice him to come back to their store, and it doesn't work.
Shocked that they're still open with that loss of revenue. But nah, I told them, get me the figure I pre-ordered that you canceled, or you won't see another dime from me ever again in my life. I didn't say it like that, but I said, or you'll lose a customer. That's it. And they said, we're really sorry, sir. We'll give you a $5 gift certificate for your trouble. And I said, is that your answer? You're going to lose. You're choosing to lose a customer. Well, sir, we'll give you a $5. And I said, you know what? Yeah, send it to me at my alt.black.com/helicopters email address. And then I gave it to somebody else to use because I ain't going to use it. It's like,
like to give an example too, like I had the same problem happen on the same pre-order, right?
Yeah.
And they at least gave me a gift card to cover the purchase later.
Yeah.
Which is why it was shocking that they offered you $5 and did not move off of that.
And
I spent $22 and they gave me a $25 gift card so I could make it later when it's in stock.
Yeah. I politely complained as well as you possibly could. And I got up 4 levels. And I got to the level where they said, I'm sorry, sir, we can't elevate this anymore, but we can give you $5.
That is
like,
wild.
You know what? Cool.
That
Appreciate
is
it.
wild.
Yeah. Maybe that was it. Nick Adams has got it. He knows what's going on here. It's racism. That's what.
He went in there swinging.
Right. I think ginger discrimination is maybe how we want to. I don't think we want to be throwing the R word around.
Oh, well, all right, fine.
Even in jest, you know how people get.
Either way, it ain't right. So, yeah.
Jeff Butler notes that the dark web sounds like Mark's alter ego, likely with a goatee. Of course,
I like that.
I believe I've used that joke before on the show, but it's
possible.
I've watched more episodes. I think I went on the dark web, but it was a long time ago.
Well, it made its way into a community calendar intro. So,
oh, that's right. That's where I remember it from. Hey, and if you were coming through my Facebook, you might have seen me with a goatee. It has happened. I can do a good square goat. One time I tried a beard though, and it was not good.
I saw a couple pictures with that, yeah, and it was just that beard was just white.
See, I was going for well, I can't do it now because I'm like reverse Hollywood Hogan. Oh, I would appreciate the lovely Elizabeth coming by. Now it's completely silver here to here. It's a little ruby and silver here, kind of like I have going on up top. But the mutton chops, 100% silver. So I look like bad cosplay Hollywood Weber. We can't be doing that. But my buddy at McFarland, John Goff, who had red hair and was really tall, like 6'5", wore Akira t-shirts all the time. And I was working at a deal with his wife to sneak one of his Akira t-shirts out. And I was going to grow the full beard. And then I was going to be him for Halloween. I was going to wear the Akira shirt, shaved down because he had big mutton chops. It was a great plan. And he had like horn rim glasses. That's easy to do.
Right.
And he wore a hat a lot. So I was going to be Goth at work. It was going to be great. And then I was just into the beard, and the lovely Mrs. Weber was like 8 1/4 months pregnant. And she said, "Are you going to have that beard in every baby photo?" And I'm like, oh, man. It wasn't looking good, but I didn't grow it to grow the beard. I grew it for the Halloween gag. And either way, it died on like October 10th. Just,
curse her cold and ultimately correct logic.
But anytime I do the facial hair, when I shave it, it's a whole event. Because I come out with the Hogan and call everybody brother for a while. And then I shave it.
Walk around in sleeveless t-shirts.
Yeah.
Strut around.
Awesome. And then at the very end, when it's almost all gone, you do the joke that you can only do in your own house, right? For a little while. And then you clean it completely off. So
you pick up a lame ass finisher like the leg drop and still manage to do it poorly.
Right. Or what's his name? Who's the guy from New Japan who's new in AEW who sucks? He's one of the new elite guy who finishes people off with Jake Roberts' old setup clothesline. Not a finisher, my friend.
Yeah, that was a curious choice. And I mean Okada's awesome. But that's not you're absolutely correct. That is not a finisher.
I'm going to use a setup move from the 80s. Like, why don't you just do the bell ringer, right? Oh, it's done.
Like Jake Roberts' finisher is no longer a finisher. So how is Jake Roberts' setup move now a finisher?
Bad, so bad.
You know, this is a promotion that uses the Canadian Destroyer as a setup move to a setup move.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a sequence thing. The Canadian Destroyer, both guys are flipping over one another. Not a finisher.
No.
But Jake Roberts' old setup move. No, I'm with you there.
When he debuted it, he hit Eddie Kingston with it, and Kingston had to lay in the ring for like 5 minutes. Like he took a javelin to the heart. What are we doing?
Like Okada took out a pistol and shot him in the face.
Here's my finisher. Pow!
I prefer the Race Bannon finisher.
Throw a barrel at it.
That's right.
That's a good idea. I love that I said, who's the Japanese? I didn't say that. Who's the New Japan wrestler that AEW signed who sucks? And Jeff Butler goes, Kota Ibushi. They got a depth chart.
Right.
They got a backup in case one gets hurt.
And I know it's the pattern we've had here is that Mark hates AEW, and I try to defend it to a certain degree. but man, the booking is just bad right now. It's
That's
just
what
bad.
that's what I hate. But
Yeah.
anyway,
the talent is there, but the booking is terrible.
Well, guess what ain't gonna change?
Yeah.
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 Cheapest big spender and I finally back on the same page.
The Brooklyn Brawler?
No, further down. Yeah.
Claiming that AEW needs LaParca. No, they don't. LaParca is like 65 years old.
Dude, it could be anybody in a LaParca suit. All he's got to do is do the dance.
No, it can't. It's the look, man. Even LaParca is not LaParca anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
He lost the rights to the name.
It's got to be one of those quick shows.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a new community calendar intro this week, so we're gonna relive the joy that was the return of Staff Sergeant C Nuggets this week.
Well, that's good. There's not enough joy out there.
There's not. So I am happy to take our exceptionally cute mascot and show his return to Earth and subsequent joyous reunion and the saving of Rapcho. So anyways, stay with us.
I kind of imagine that's what the pearly gates are going to be like.
Right.
Just majestic and glorious with a big hand going, nope. Not you.
I'm ready for it myself.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Not you.
I have it will be difficult but not surprising. We'll just leave it at that. Anyways, first up, Western Ohio Toy Show is happening this weekend. That is on Saturday from 9 to 3, 8 a.m. for early access. Ticket prices are there somewhere on their Facebook page. I still haven't bothered to add them to the graphic. I forget. They got food trucks. They got free parking. They got so much more. They got Roma Collectibles. You can see the little Yeti. You always know it's a good Roma show. Mm-hmm. Little Yeti in the corner. That's how you know. That's the Yeti of quality.
The Yeti seal of approval.
So if you're in Western Ohio, head out to the Preble County Fairgrounds Expo Center. I'm going to guess that's in scenic downtown Preble. I don't know. I don't know what town it's in. But it's the Western Ohio Toy Show. Check them out on Facebook. You get all the details there. Like I said, I was downtown all day. I don't do homework. Get out of here.
What's it like to just roll up and flip on the mic and expect other people to have a show ready for you? Must be awesome.
I mean, I should ask you that, shouldn't I?
I know, right? It's the Weber experience. It's great.
I mean, it's just...
As a former radio producer, this is a great gig. Be there on time and flip on the mic and do your thing.
And you're not even here on time.
What do you know? I was first one in tonight.
Well, I mean, no, I just didn't have myself in the room itself, but I was here waiting on everybody.
I'm just saying, man.
I was going through all my final checks.
I was waiting for the rundown.
I didn't have time for your nonsense.
We just do it live. We didn't do any pre-nonsense.
No, there was very little pre-nonsense.
Save your nonsense for the show.
Yeah.
Dustin Jeffrey, Mike, it's going to be a quick show. 4 hours of wrestling talk. Later, rolls credits. There, yeah, you got us figured out. Cheapest big spender with the question of the ages. Wonder how everyone survived at Toyman during Cinco de Mayo. Dave Draper was in the house at Toyman. No one hugged him.
Garbage.
I am disappointed in all of you. If you hear this show and you were at Toyman this week, you failed.
Yeah, all of you. It's a lot of you.
Paige Wagner failed. Failed. Anyways, next up. I've killed community calendar. How about that? I've pronounced a failure at community calendar.
Wow.
because our friend was not assaulted.
was not groped.
Oh, Jesus. What's wrong? What's happened?
I mean, what's right? I mean, it might be shorter.
This is how we're kicking off year 14, folks. This is it right here.
All new stuff. None of it good.
That just conjures up that bit when Homer Simpson's at the
Bachman
Turner Overdrive concert. No new crap.
People out there are like, didn't they used to have a hottie on this show? Never mind that. Pay attention.
Look, I asked the same question a lot of weeks. I got nothing. I don't know what to tell anybody at this point. Anyways, Inside Pitch Promotions got a couple of shows. You already knew about the one on May 18th. That's out at the Metro Convention Center in Hickory. That is from 9 to 4. $5 gets you in the door. Kids 12 and under are free because they're plentiful in North Carolina. Another one on the calendar for June 8th, so also within the window here. That is at West End's Plaza Events Center in Salisbury. That is also 9 to 4. That is also $5. Everything, if you see Inside Pitch, the parking is free. That's the hallmark of all good shows. And again, if you need a kid 12 and under to help around the house, they're there for the taking.
They're just running around the hills like squirrels.
Right. You just got to round them up.
They're free. You may be responsible for shooing them, but they are free for the taking.
Free. They're going to have steak trucks in Salisbury, I think. Yeah.
Well, that would be awesome.
Not any good, but okay.
I mean, that would look, man. If you got a bad Salisbury steak, that's the chef's problem, because the Salisbury steak on its own, that's a masterpiece.
Well, I don't think Swanson knows quite how to do them, but it's okay.
No, they do not.
Yeah,
that's Swanson. Diana Davis, I am listening. My dad just walked into my parents' house with a huge knife and a hammer and told my mother he needs to break something. Then he wandered off to fix the barbecue. Then he disappeared. I think we need updates as this goes on.
You know what that guy needs? Space.
Mom did get the knife and the hammer from him first. That's probably for the best, but
all right.
It's a big house. There's probably more than one knife. Matt Rubin says, all new nonsense, same old delivery. That's why we keep coming back. It's not even all new nonsense. But yes, so May 18th in Hickory, June 8th in Salisbury. Be sure to hit up Inside Pitch Promotions. I don't know if we've got a hugging promotion going with Michael Gene Fleming or not, but
maybe he prefers to be tickled. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I have not been in touch.
Oh, the wet willy.
He's
free wet willies.
No, we're not doing that. Come on now.
Well, I'm not doing it. But we can encourage other people to do it.
We can't do that to him. He's one of the few people that actually writes into the show.
Could you imagine if we encouraged that, what would happen to the second person that tried it? Because the first person would be like, what the hell? Get off of me. But the second person will get a knuckle sandwich for sure, right? Or a bionic elbow or something.
Look, in a just world.
Right? Maybe hit him with a short arm clothesline and kill him.
Right. Leave him dead in the ring like poor Eddie Kingston.
Man.
Who, for the record, was a mid-card champion at the time.
I mean, I don't know what counts as a mid-card belt in a promotion with 17 title belts, but
it's not the big one, so they're after that they're all mid-card belts. Swerve Strickland is the main belt right now, and everybody below that is a mid-card belt.
All right, that's fair.
I'm not assigning any order to anything after that because there's too damn many.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're the Ring of Honor TV title or pure title is a mid-card title.
It's more of the low card title, like the old WCW TV championship.
The Thursday night happy hour title.
That's it. It's a participation ribbon.
The old European championship title.
Trivia night at the bar title.
Next up on May 19th, it's the SoCal Joe Show. Happening in scenic Temecula, California at the Temecula Embassy Suites. as it is wont to be. Twice a year, every year, for God knows how many years now. That is happening 10 to 3. $5 gets you in the door. $10 gets you in for early bird at 9. Again, kids 12 and under are free. More details are available for you on Facebook. Are they going to have exclusives? You bet they're going to have exclusives. They released some details on those exclusives. We'll show them to you here. This year's exclusive is classified manly.
He is manly looking.
He is manly. But he is fresh from Argentina. Wink, wink. And that he includes his beret, his jump jetpack, a parachute, and accessories. They didn't really go into specifics on the accessories, but he's got his submachine gun, he's got his pistol, he's got his knife. So I'm going to guess that's accessories. But they're just repainting Stalker here, but that's all Manley was in the first place. So good on him for historical accuracy. So Sean Russell, he's got it down. It's AEW. They're all the mid-card. They really are. Again, Swerve Strickland's got the heavyweight title. And after that, it's all mid-card belt. All 70 of them.
Mid-card cummerbunds.
That's a good idea, too.
That's what they are.
Hey, I like a show that goes, I mean, they go to the work to actually, one at a time, make exclusives for people. So,
oh, absolutely.
There ain't many of those out there. So I got nothing but respect.
No, that's carrying on. We used to do that for CoilCon, man, and it was always both a lot of fun and a monstrous headache all at the same time. So mad props to the SoCal Joe Show, and if you have the opportunity to pick one of these up, they do a good job with them. They've done a good job with all of them to this point. So be sure to take advantage of that opportunity. And be sure to say hey to Biff McConkie and Griff McDonkeybonk, both of whom will be in attendance. Again, that is... Go ahead, Mark.
I've been to Temecula. I saw Matchbox 20 in Temecula.
You're admitting this?
It's my wife's favorite band, man. It just doesn't make me a bad taste in music. It makes me a good husband.
Right. You're off the hook.
There you go. I'm not just off the hook. I'm off the chain, baby. Let me tell you.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's 3 a.m. I might be lonely.
Hey, Mark. How'd you?
Mark can't hear you. He's not here anymore.
No, I hear everything. I just can't talk.
Have you thought about what you've done?
Dude,
how did you get to Temecula?
Oh, that's a good call. You actually, from Phoenix, you go to San Diego and turn right up the 95, which was jammed.
Of course.
Phil Donnelly says he may or may not acknowledge such salutations. He will.
He will.
Believe me, after you hug him, he will.
Yeah. If he knows what's good for him.
Or
even worse, the dreaded Rear Admiral.
The universal hello.
See, now, I can't even do that to Biff in this pre or post-COVID apocalypse that we live in.
That's probably true. Although if you say gleep, wop, boom, ding, nitty, bong while you do it, it's okay.
Right.
Oh, geez. Sean Russell with the win.
I'm not doing it. I'm not putting
Barada,
it up.
Klaatu, Nikto.
I'm not putting it up.
Klaatu, Barada.
So it's SoCal Joe Show and Toy Convention. That is happening Sunday, May 19th in Temecula. Be there or be rhomboid. It's up to you. Ooh, went too far.
The Yeti's back.
Nope. No, I didn't.
We went too far back.
If you're not on the West Coast, hey, why don't you check out the Roma Collectibles Parking Lot Toy Show? That's happening in nearby Springfield, Ohio on Sunday, May 19th. That's in the Roma Collectibles parking lot, so it's free. They can't keep you out. I mean, you could just be pulling in there to eat your Jack in the Box. They don't know. But why would you do that, right? Why would you drive all the way to Springfield and go to the crummy Jack in the Box? And you could just go to the clean one in town. So, and I mean, I'm making that up, right? Because there's no such thing as the clean Jack in the Box. No. That just doesn't happen ever anywhere. But anyways, you can see our friend the Yeti and maybe even Staff Sergeant C-Nugs at the Roma Collectibles parking lot toy show. This is also a good opportunity to remind everybody that community calendar is brought to you by our good friends at Roma Collectibles. They're there all the time. They are there 5 days a week, Wednesday through Sunday. I can't find the banner. There we go. At 1030 Upper Valley Pike in Springfield, Ohio. They are closed Monday and Tuesday because they need some time off to watch What's on Joe Mind. Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 7, Sunday, 12 to 5. So be sure to stop in, say hey to Mary Mercenary, say hey to Aaron, to AA Ron, and just again, no sudden movements. Try not to make direct eye contact, and for God's sake, don't bring in any raw meat. The blood smell just gets them going, and then you're on your own.
You realize how close that banner came to poking me in the eye? Like, come on now. Let's be safe out there.
I keep telling you to wear the goggles for the show, Mark, and you never do.
Right.
So
Telling you.
Rob and I have built-in genetic predisposition protection.
Right.
And you just refuse. So
you think I can't do that? You think I can't go? Look at that. Now everything's blurry. Forget it.
I was about to say, and now everything's just screwed up. Whoa. Don't put on your wife's reading glasses again.
Dude, I almost cut myself there.
What'd you cut yourself with?
Look at this. Ah. Hey, I had a question.
Oh man, it's like Marvel's Blood Hunt.
I had a question behind the banner there. Does the graphic indicate that they're sold out of Funko Pops?
I don't think anybody's sold out of Funko Pops. I don't think that's possible anymore.
Kind of my point, right? Like, I don't see it in the box. Just saying.
Look, man, if they drew Funko Pops in the box, then it's probably they're probably gonna get sued.
Just put a lid on it then. I'm just saying. I'm just here to help.
Lids cost money, Mark.
That's true. Everything costs. That's the truth.
That's extra pencil mileage they don't need.
Sometimes at what I like to call work, I got to order more cardboard boxes, right? They cost money.
All right.
So when we ship you something, there's a cost involved there. It ain't free.
No, what you should do is just slide it all into padded envelopes.
Right. Oh, that's a good.
That's all people want.
Can I go on a sidebar here real quick? I promise to be quick.
Sure.
We got a package that only shipped up to Boston. We're in Rhode Island. It bounced back to us. They said addressee unknown. And the weird thing was it was 2 orders, and one of them got delivered, the other one didn't. And the guy reached out to me and said, I won't use any real names here because it's part of the gag, actually. He's like, yeah, it says addressee unknown. I don't know what their problem is. And I'm like, well, you said your name, your actual shipping name was Ghost Thug, right? If you put down Ghost Thug as your actual mailing name above your address, you might not get your toys. I'm just saying. I just gotten over Ghost Thug, and then today I had an order from Metroplex. People,
didn't we advertise a show there?
Right? I think so. Like
we did.
I don't care if your name is Egbert Jehoshaphat, right? You can be Ghost Thug on the internet, but if you want me to ship you something, you got to use your real name, man. Ghost Thug ain't working.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Metroplex.
Sorry, I had to get something set up there. But because your adventures with the post office reminded me of a bit that we'll have a little later in the show. Absorbvids says Ohio is the best. Absorbvids I know is from the Dayton, Ohio area. So maybe you'll see Absorbvids at Roma Collectibles, the parking lot toy show. Maybe he'll be skateboarding. I don't know. You can find him on Instagram. Remember, Absorbvids is the guy who does all of our community calendar intros and outros. Absorbvids at absorb_ on Instagram. Is that 2 underscores or just 1? I don't know. It doesn't find you when I try to tag you on Instagram. So I have no idea what it actually is.
Don't you have to pay extra for 2 underscores?
Maybe. Look, man, I'm not here to tell him how to spend his money. But Dustin Jeffrey says, there's always one question I ask when I go in Jack in the Box. Do I feel lucky today?
And if the answer is yes, you keep walking.
Right. That's not lucky. That's being smart. I'll give Jack in the Box their props for serving breakfast 24/7. Look, sometimes you just got to have a burrito, okay?
Yeah,
and it's got to be filled with bacon and eggs.
Oof.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
I gotta say, if you didn't have access to it anymore, that's this guy. You wouldn't mind an ultimate cheeseburger, right? Or a spicy crispy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwiches at Jack in the Box are generally okay, but man, you get past that, and it's
it's like ordering diner lobster.
Yeah,
like,
those fries are gross. I don't want to hear about those terrible tacos.
Yeah, those tacos are nasty.
They don't clean the soda machines very often, so they taste kind of weird. But yeah, sandwiches are okay, and of course breakfast.
In the early 80s, walking into Jack in the Box was considered an actual suicide attempt in the state of New York.
Yeah.
Did you have Jack in the Box in New York?
For a while.
Yeah, until they were all so disgusting, they were all closed down.
Well,
I think of them as a West Coast chain.
They were, but after their salmonella scare that killed 4 people across the nation back in the early 80s, all the ones out by us closed.
Because they knew their health standards were not up to par.
Yeah. Again, nationally, in 4 different parts of America, they killed a person. Yeah, it was no good. It's no good. Anyways, moving forward. Again, that's Roma Collectibles, the toy store, parking lot toy show, Sunday, May 19th. Are we going to be there, Rob?
Probably not.
All right.
I mean, I may not. You might.
I may just be there. Maybe the one opportunity I get to hang with noted author James Kavanaugh. You never know.
I mean, that's heading into my final week, so I'm just like, if I go somewhere, I might not come back.
Diana Davis with a valid question. How many toys of parking lots can there possibly be? Beyond the little people, I don't know. Good question. But this isn't the toy parking lot show. This is the parking lot toy show. It's 2 different things.
It's subtle, but it's important.
Right. Word placement is big. Anyways, moving on. Craig Cohan trying to drag details out of Absorbits. I told you he's around Dayton.
I think Craig might be looking for sympathy. Cleveland
right?
and all.
I told you, man. Think I'm making this stuff up?
I got Indians fans after me on the Eternal Baseball board. So be careful, Cleveland. You don't want to make an enemy. You don't want to make an enemy. I know, right?
Mark, you have Guardian stats.
Right, and I'm a Steelers fan, right? I already don't like Cleveland. So don't push it. My Aunt Sally was a big Cleveland Indians fan. So that goodwill's only going to get you so far.
They're upset that you don't have Tony Bernazard on the all-time team. That's what it is.
Here's another unrelated short story. I was visiting my Aunt Sally and the Indians game was on when they were the Indians. And at one point, she just kind of let out a sad little sigh. And she was in her 80s at that point. And I said, "You okay, Aunt Sally?" And she said, "Well, Milton Bradley's not a leadoff hitter, but we're down 2-1 and it's the 8th inning and he's leading off this inning. So he doesn't have to swing at that first pitch." And I'm like, God damn. Aunt Sally knows her baseball.
Right. Aunt Sally's in touch.
And her most damning
that game.
The payoff, her most damning criticism I ever heard her say about a Cleveland player. She said that Milton Bradley is a bit of a hot dog.
I think that is perhaps an understatement. He was
cutting analysis.
Always playing games out there.
Oh, boo.
Daredevil Dave asks, is the Roma parking lot show a show full of things people have found in parking lots? I think that's going to be a booth.
Right.
It's not the whole show, but it's one guy.
Yeah, I got one Lego.
It's been chipped up a little bit. My Buick kicked it up as I was doing donuts last week.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a Mego Batman glove.
Hey, Matt Rubin's got a good point.
Matt Rubin, I'd talk smack on the Brownies, but the Steelers are around the same level right now.
I would say one of those teams doesn't have a public menace at quarterback, but whatever.
Not yet, anyway. Not till they find those bodies in Russell Wilson's basement.
Right? You just know Fields killed some people in Chicago. Had to get out of town.
Yeah, one of them wasn't Matt Nagy, though. So, you know.
Greg Cohan was upset that you were talking smack about the Indians, the Guardians right there. He gave you the big F off, best record in baseball.
I thought that was the Phillies.
So did I.
Oh!
So did I. And then to throw on top of that, when we were watching, which is the only important time when the Yankees were in town, they didn't look that good. So
yeah.
And then, of course, Greg Cohan did apologize later.
I appreciate it. Hey, I got no problem with the Guardians.
Right.
I got a problem with the Cleveland fans who are lambasting me regularly for calling their franchise the Guardians
by the actual name. Granted, it's a terrible franchise name. They're not wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm not defending the name. I'm just saying, look, I didn't pick it.
Even the Washington Commanders is a better name.
Right.
But
they're the Indians forever. Not the Naps, not the Broncos, not the Spiders. Just checking.
I mean, the Spiders were a different franchise.
Yeah, but still Cleveland.
That's what they should have gone to, man. Yes. But I can understand that you don't necessarily want to invoke images of the all-time worst baseball team in history. So I get that.
That would be this year's Chicago White Sox. No, they won a couple. Never mind.
They have 6 wins.
Yeah,
and they swept
Tampa. The baseball standings.
Yeah, but the Marlins are coming back to him. You watch.
Yeah, they seem to be willing to let somebody hold that beer.
Yeah.
Anyways, coming up on June 1st is Operation Armor 4. I only clicked to this thing like 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Remember to pre-order your gear kit from Codename Iowa at codenameiowa.com/store. Remember, this is a virtual convention. This is not happening in any parking lot in Ohio anywhere. Mm-hmm. This is wherever you happen to be, so long as you get and buy your admission. It is themed always, unless you're paying for parking at home, in which case, sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Or you like live in some Manhattan high rise and sucks to be us.
Yeah.
But Operation Armor is themed towards eco warriors. So however that may color your thinking. But again, codenameiowa.com/store. Be sure to get your Operation Armor pre-sale kits taken care of in advance of the show on June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, quick check of the baseball standings. Yes, the Phillies have the best record in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
How many
followed
wins?
By the Dodgers, then the Orioles.
Nobody cares about that.
And then the Yankees.
Nobody cares. How many wins do the Chicago White Sox have?
I don't know. No, actually, they have more than that because they swept Tampa. Right?
They have. I know they. Last I checked, which was middle of last week, they have 6, and that included
still have 6.
That included a 3-game sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
So they are obnoxiously bad.
That Chicago Tampa series is like a best of 7 between Alex Wright and Norman Smiley. Come on now.
What did Alex Wright and Norman Smiley ever do to you?
I don't know. Alex Wright, that's right.
That's like a 7-match set between Barry Darsow and Craig Hunke is what that is.
I don't even remember Craig Hunke. Not good though. Rusty Brooks though.
Yeah, Craig Hunke was a dude out of the power plant who would come out and lose on Saturday night to the Jobbers.
Oh,
like Norman Smiley would come out and kick his ass.
Right. Norman Smiley had the big wiggle dance.
I love Norman Smiley. Absolutely one of my favorites from late WCW. He had a good thing going.
Supposedly a super nice guy. Everybody liked him.
Yeah, He still works at WWE Developmental, so he can't be all bad.
And yet nobody has taken the big wiggle. Just say it and run with it.
Well,
Like an homage thing, like a tribute act.
Wreckship 85. Why are we talking about baseball on this Batman podcast?
Pretty sure it's a wrestling show tonight, my friend, and fast food.
And of course, Rob won't say anything, but 8 wins for the Shy Sox. They're on a tear.
Look at them go.
What is that winning percentage, Rob?
Let me take a peek.
It's very low.
Why did you go away from the screen?
All right. Yeah, they are 8-28. That is a 222 winning percentage.
Wow. They're winning like Alex Bregman's hitting.
That is still on pace to be the worst team of all time, though.
5 weeks into the season, they're 20 games under 500.
Firefly notes that no one has taken Scotty Too Hotty's worm either. That's because nobody can. And Otis has. Otis does the caterpillar. So maybe you're not expecting to see Otis aping a Scotty Too Hotty move, but there it is. Yeah, Matt Rubin's got my back. Beat him to that one because he had to type. But next up, of course, Iron City Comic-Con happening on June 1st. That is down in Birmingham, Alabama. Guests include Towson Coleman, Jim Cummings, John Delancey, Michael Golden, Kane, Ray Park, Rob Paulson, Brent Spiner, and several more. You get all the details and order your tickets at IronCityComicCon.com. Your feelings on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles revival at Iron City, Mark Weber?
You know, it's weird. Turtles totally missed me. And I don't have anything against them. Matter of fact, I respect the hell out of that franchise, that brand anyway, because they're one of the only evergreens. They're never gone. They're never gone. If they're gone, they're just about to reboot, right? So, but man, they never did anything for me. So I don't hate on them. They were never my thing. Not like He-Man, which I actively disliked and still do. But Ninja Turtles, I got no problem with them. Just was never my thing.
I'll admit I used to enjoy the cartoon back in the day, but I never had an inkling to go out and buy Turtles at any point. I was a little old when they got started, so but I enjoyed the show. I haven't watched all of them. But I've seen the movies.
Yeah, they're kind of like Power Rangers.
Fun.
They're like Power Rangers to me, an evergreen powerhouse brand that I was a little too old for, so I never got into. But if I was 5 years younger, I might have been, a Red Ranger fan because red's the most powerful color. But it just wasn't my thing. I'm not hating on them. And if you love them, Zaymot, CGC, more power to you. Just one my thing.
Right. Look, you got through an entire 2-hour special edition with Pixel Dan. And you didn't fight about He-Man once, so you certainly weren't going to fight about Turtles.
No, but I didn't ignore it. I mentioned that He-Man sucked. He just didn't take that bait. So
he's too nice.
He's a wonderful fella, and he doesn't care what you think.
He is a wonderful fella. He doesn't care what I think. And he knows I'm right. So what's there to talk about? I
don't know. He wrote a book about it.
It's okay that his friends don't like everything that he likes. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's why Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors.
If he likes terrible animation and substandard toys, God bless him.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for the record, best of the 4-person tandem video games. Better than X-Men, better than G.I. Joe, better than Marvel superheroes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the bomb. That game was the best.
The local arcade has the X-Men game, and we flocked to it. And I went, I'm Cyclops. And the mutant power button was broken on Cyclops. And I'm like, well, I guess all I can do is kick. And then the attack button was broken too. So all he could do was jump and die.
Walk around.
Cyclops with no powers. Okay, well, he's kind of a martial artist, maybe, but no All he could do is die.
He's just Hoppy Boy.
Yeah, and we had 4 of us too, and nobody wanted to swap. No, I'm good. I bet. Must be fun having claws or metal skin. Or
Bill Donnelly says he'd say the Simpsons game gave it a run for its money. Simpson game was good, but it was no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was no Michael Jackson Moonwalker.
Oh boy,
that was actually a deceptively fun game.
I was a big fan of Gauntlet, and it's one of the games on my mini stand-up behind me here. Except the mini stand-up only has 3 joysticks, so I'm like, oh, you can only play 3 at a time. That's all right. No, you can only play 2 at a time. Like, how are you going to downgrade Gauntlet to a 3 joystick machine and make it a 2-player game? Come on. I got ripped off. I got bamboozled.
Josiah Alcorn asks, has Baskin-Robbins really not come up with a new flavor in 40 years? No, they come up with new flavors all the time. They just rotate them around. That 31 is more of a traditional thing. It's not a hard and fast rule. Matt Rubin, Colossus was the best out of the X-Men crew. I agree in terms of that game. He was a stud.
Didn't he just like radiate power and knock people away or something?
More or less. And then he had the strongest punch. So he's just knocking stuff all over that screen. It's good stuff.
I'm not a Wolverine honk like most of the world, but I believe he had a button that just made him go batshit insane.
Yeah, he would just fly around the screen.
Good, yeah.
Berserker rage.
Yeah,
like a really angry screensaver. Yeah.
Bart is in all caps saying that the best 4-player arcade game is Golden Axe.
Oh man. I'll tell you this, on Golden Axe, they had some big giant guys with really long hammers like on their shoulder. And if you got too close to them, dude, they hit you with an overhead chop that I swear killed your grandchildren. It was so awesome. And I don't even care what else happened in that game. That one bit of animation was tremendous because it would come all the way up and down and it would plant your head with your feet still in the air. It was it was the most vicious thing since Coco Savage's double chop.
I was about to ask, how does it stack up to the double chop?
Nothing's worse than the double chop, man. That is like that's not just a finisher, that's an ender. Because you come off the ropes and you throw him in sometimes, go for a backdrop, and he'd come off and slow down, and you're like, oh my God. Like it happens in slow motion. The hands go back, and then he gets you right on the neck, and one eye bugs out bigger than the other. You look like Bill the Cat for a second. And the noise, I swear, was twice as loud as any other impact move on that game. So it just sounded like someone dropped a piano on you. Just done. Coco, and they made that guy third on that game. Just to eat your quarters, right? Golden Hulk was the champion. Like Coco Savage wouldn't eat his lunch. Come on now.
Dustin Jeffrey asks, does Baskin-Robbins still have bubblegum ice cream? I believe they always have bubblegum. I think that is one of their evergreen best sellers. So yes.
How you getting bubblegum ice cream?
I don't know. My mom loved it though.
Really?
She loved it. Her abs. Anytime we went Baskin-Robbins, that was her pick.
No, it was baseball nut.
Oh, that too. But she did bubblegum a lot too.
I don't remember bubblegum. I remember rum raisin. I remember baseball nut. But
I remember some kind of triple chocolate. It was really good. It wasn't world-class chocolate. It was a different one.
My favorite from Baskin-Robbins is their chocolate and peanut butter. It was just high quality stuff. Just chocolate with a ribbon of chunky peanut butter. Win.
Seems like a win.
Zayma CGC, WWF WrestleFest is a fun 4-player game. It's okay. It's all right.
I remember was that the one with Boss Man in it?
I believe so, yes.
Because most finishers you had to get all pumped up to do, but Boss Man's was a throw off the ropes. So you could hit somebody with a Boss Man slam all day if you wanted to. And I remember we would play it after soccer practice in high school, and there was a kid a year younger than us who would just do that. He would grab you, and he would just do that move for like half an hour. And every time he would play you, he would just go, Boss Man. Boss Man. And you're like, let me know. I'm going to go get a big gulp. I'll be back.
We'll see you in a minute.
Boss man.
And of course, we got Heroes Convention in Charlotte. That is happening from June 14 to 16 at the Charlotte Convention Center in North Carolina. Guests include Bob Camp, Larry Hama, Jim Shooter, and God forbid, so many more. Heroes Convention is a huge show. Still reasonably priced for what it is, but man, if you ever want to get an autograph or have a chat with somebody in the comics business, you go to Heroes Con in Charlotte, okay? Heroesonline.com has all the information there for you. So be sure if you're in that area and you love comic books, check that one out. And that's all we got for community calendar.
Well, it took us an hour.
Well, no, we had our blathering intro for a good 15 minutes or so. So
before all my blathering side stories, but whatever.
Josiah Alcorn asks, is Hama doing this and Joe Fest the same month? I think he's doing that and Dallas the same month. I don't know. Is he doing Joe Fest this year or is he doing Dallas this year? I think he's doing Dallas this year. I think he's in DFW.
Now, this is going to sound self-serving, but I think a lot of the vintage show names are in Dallas.
Yeah. And that's mostly because they're afraid of running up against the What's on Joe Mind crowd.
Right.
You know, and it's hard to fault them for that.
Yeah.
It's hard to fault that. I understand what that's all about. Phil has our back on that one. Phil says Dallas. So
I'm giving the second screen the side eye here because I had to look up OscarRobbins.com. Chocolate Mousse Royale.
All
Big
right.
fan. That's my win.
That sounds like it would be a winner.
It's pretty good.
That's anyways, let's finish up community calendar. Community calendar. Community calendar. Community calendar. Community calendar. I'm so charmed by the happy Yeti. I can't get over it. Just hopping up and down, so happy to see his little friend. I'll play that one again and again. Did I change that out of the closing sequence this week? No, I did not.
I mean, he was so depressed he was two-dimensional on the ground.
Right? Right? D-Bay, she agrees. The graphic is delightful. And then they go out, they saved Rap Joe. They took all the graffiti off of Mark's picture.
Appreciate
and
that.
They're good people there. They'll be good people there. Bart will be at Joe Fest this year. We need backup. I don't know if we'll need backup. Good Lord. We got an entourage this year at Joe Fest.
Dude, we're running 3 deep. I think we're going to be okay.
Well, there'd be the three of us plus Phil said he was going to drive in. And he's
from California.
We're gonna talk Phil up like he's there, but he's not gonna be there. Hooded Cobra Commander will be around somewhere. We got a bunch of other folks that will be popping in and out with. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot going on at Joe Fest for us this year. Be a big What's on Joe Mind energy at Joe Fest this year. Anyways, it's time for the news. What kind of news we got this year? This week? What we got? Anything?
We got nothing.
Not a whole lot.
We got bad news.
No, we don't have bad news. We have good news in the form of.
Hey,
there we go. All right, yeah, I'll give it up.
Our friend Ryan Drost of Star Joe's Stealth Hammer number 3 is funded. Congratulations there. Round of applause.
Yeah,
Round of applause.
Ooh, give it up.
passed its $6,500 goal in the last few days. So well done to everybody there for spreading the word and getting this one taken care of.
Mhm.
Great job to all involved. Glad that the story of the Stealth Hammer gets to continue. Congratulations, Ryan and team. Rack time, Rob, you get in on this one?
I did.
Good. It's a comic book one. You have a reputation now.
Well, I have the other two. I got to get the third, right?
I'm more of a band hammer kind of guy, just saying. But
Yeah.
mm.
I mean, not quite like Phil, but
No, I just like to swing it.
Daredevil Dave asking, so how about them White Sox? You're late, man. You're late. We've already talked about the White Sox. You're late.
Look, if they go on a 20-game winning streak, they are back at 500.
Yeah, baby.
Back in it.
And still like 9 games out, but whatever.
Yeah.
They're about, I don't know, it's the Central. 500 could get it done. Who knows?
That's true.
Maybe by the end of the year, but right now there's some Central teams playing well.
Josiah Alcorn has never been more wrong in his life.
Is he calling for the horns?
He's calling for it. Doesn't mean he gets it.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone horns pretty heavy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give the horns a break.
Yeah, you should just be expecting them, right?
Right. You gotta. There's got to be a right mood for the horns. I'll go instrumental without horns. No,
For how long?
I don't even want to do that though.
Yeah.
That seems like cheating.
Right, Bart. Bart is Team Weber on this.
No.
Last week in my brain, as soon as I thought this is getting a little old, you actually said live on the air, "What, Webb? You don't like the horns?" And I'm like, "Ooh, did I just emote that?" Is my inner monologue coming out again?
Well, I do live to antagonize, so I pick up on those vibes.
The same way, I think my musical dutes were getting old, so I threw them out. Now they're only on by request because I'm making bad decisions. You better give me a good one. I'll give you good dutes. Other than that, we're going classic.
I just need classic dutes. I don't need a whole. It's already crazy enough that I have the former head of marketing for GI Joe doing dute sound effects in the newsroom.
All of a sudden, I'm Police Academy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, but look at Cheapest Big Spender.
He's been making this suggestion for a couple of weeks, and when Cheapest Big Spender wants to send me some gifts, then I'll do that. But I haven't had time to do this sort of thing.
Help us help you.
Anyways, next news item.
Do.
Hey, we got another Kickstarter, of course. This is for the GI Joe Real American Hero Compendium set that is happening over at Kickstarter, coming soon. New information there. It launches on May 28th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Otherwise, everything we knew about it before, we still know now. They will, they talked up the collectible trading card, but we already knew about that when they put the mailing list out. So I think we'll find out more on May 28th, or if they just decide it's a slow news day and decide to push something out before then. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But that's the new information here, that it launches on May 28th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm confused by this. I'm starting to, after last week's discussion, I'm starting to question the paperbacks that they're putting out in terms of what quality those are going to be. Like I have no question that these are going to be like the top shelf books, right? Yeah. Like if you want just the best of the best, this is what you want to get in on. But it makes me wonder what the 62, 64, whatever dollar one that's reprinting 1 through 50, what that's going to look like.
Seems a little weird to launch them at the same time.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know.
No offense to Skybound. I love that they're doing this. And other companies have done, parts of it over the years. And I'm never against it. It's just, not to toot my own horn, because in this especially in this arena. I don't think I'm special, but I have all these comics, right? So this doesn't do anything for me, but I'm still really glad they're doing it.
Cheapest big spender trying to bargain with me. I sent you Beach Party Beach. I know, man. I know, but I appreciate that. He's one of the few beachheads that is out all the time. He's always out to welcome in the new recruits. But I don't have a ton of prep time these last few weeks. It's been a little crazy around here.
That was a gift, man. You can't expect change on a gift. Come on.
I mean, he is one of our fine coffee backers as well. Yeah. So we thank him for that as well. But I don't always have time to put new graphics together. Maybe it'll happen later. I'll work on it. I can't promise that I'm going to have a chance.
Maybe Stinky can do it.
She's no good with this stuff. She's worse than Rob.
I'm just saying.
She's worse than Rob. Anyhow, next news item. Hey, join the Navy. It's back. Backer kit for the in the Navy from forgetting the name of the company. Heavy Armor Toys. Heavy Armor Toys. That's what it is. The Kickstarter, or rather the backer kit, has been reopened through the end of the month. They do make the note that you cannot change existing orders.
What?
This is only for ordering more figures or new figures through the backer kit, but it is there for you if you decide you want more sailors, you want more Navy SEALs. That is all available to you again through May 31st. That is at the backer kit pricing, which I believe is $22 a piece, which is pretty good on these O-ring construction figures lately. So be sure to check that. Go ahead, Mark.
That's what Super 7's going to charge you.
That's what we hope. In the Navy action figures with hyphens -backerkit.com. You can get the email address off of the graphic there in the bottom right. Be sure to check that out today.
A lot of hyphens.
I'm not reading out all those hyphens.
Hey, let's give it up for Daredevil Dave.
Let me get it down there. He's back in this. His son ships out for Navy training July 13th. Well done, sir. Well done to your son. We appreciate it.
Now June 13th.
Oh, man, we're counting down.
Right?
I don't think you're going to have figures in hand by then, but they do have other figures that are available. If you head over to their other sales E-Crater, I believe is where the other one is. If I remember, I'll get a link to that up in the thing. I don't know if I got a link up. Anyways, so again, check it out. Heavy Armor Toys. Join in the Navy campaign backer kit. Wide open for you at the address on screen.
Get some.
Get some. Next news item.
Get some more, I guess.
Or if you were foolish enough to miss the first time.
Right. But you can't get less. That's the point.
No. Cannot get less. Less is not an option.
No.
Hey, our friend Travis Moody and his gang over at Toy Kind of Mood did get to talk to the Hasbro team last week. There were a few small reveals. There's going to be another Cobra Commander and another Falcon. Great. But they did have a good time, so be sure to check that out when you get a chance. Any thoughts on the reveals there, Mark Weber, out of a new Cobra Commander, which we already kind of knew, and a new Falcon?
Just, I mean, don't most people think it's just going to be a Night Force Falcon? Probably, given
that seems to be the prevailing wisdom.
And that's totally okay, because Night Force is usually a better paint scheme, although there ain't nothing wrong with Falcon V1 except for his friggin' head. So given that it doesn't feel like Hasbro is fighting the item count fight they used to fight, if it's any kind of redeco or repaint, you got to fix that head, man. Gotta fix it.
Agreed.
But yeah, another Cobra Commander, sure, you bet. Another Falcon, sure. I mean, I think we know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
But-
Greg Augustin notes it's going to be in a 2-pack. So again, that's why the prevailing wisdom is Night Force along with somebody else Night Force.
Right.
Um,
Barbecue.
Sure, we'll go with that. But another Cobra Commander between the armored Cobra Commander, the movie Cobra Commander, and that retro classified, or rather the Hiss Tank Cobra Commander with the Mickey Mouse emblem just being put out without the Mickey Mouse emblem. I mean, yeah, we already kind of figured another Cobra Commander was somewhere on the pipeline.
I mean, is this just the official announcement that they were doing the retro card, or
no, they didn't even go into that much detail on it, but
I have a feeling it might just be the retro card because they've announced other things for they've dropped names for things that ended up in the retro card, but didn't say they were necessarily going to be retro carded until they did the.
I have nothing to offer to you, Rob. You knew about the video. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was downtown in a meeting all day today.
Yeah.
Greg Augustin hopes it was Supersonic Fighters Falcon. I got it on secondhand, so I'm just going with what secondhand told me. So I have not had a chance to watch myself. I will probably do so in the next couple of days.
Good for Travis.
Right.
That's solid work there. And I gotta throw the disclaimer out there, because if I just say, and Lenny and Tony, they're really good people, it sounds like a dig. So I gotta disclaim it. I've never met Emily, never met her. But Tony and Lenny, I know from my time at Hasbro, and they were
those are your former coworkers.
Two of my favorites, and two guys who legit, because they're both weightlifter machines, went as shirtless Hawk and Animal to a Halloween party several years ago, and they pulled it off, right? If you're pulling off shirtless Road Warriors, salute. So good for them.
You're putting in the work.
Absolutely.
You're counting the carbs,
right? And it just meant Tony got to walk around all night going, well.
But I believe we've got a Toy Kind of Mood linked up on our YouTube channel page. It's their most recent video, so just head over there, check that out, and it'll be there for you. Again, great job to Travis and the gang.
If I'd have been a part of that, I would have slapped Lenny on the chest all the time and gone, tell him, Animal, all night.
Would you have been dressed as Paul Ellering?
I would have been Ellering, probably, yeah, because I can't pull off shirtless Road Warriors. But I could with glasses and this hairline, I could do Ellering.
Sure. I mean, reverse 6 inches too tall Paul Ellering.
I just need glasses and a Wall Street Journal, right? That's the easy costume.
And a dummy.
And, oh God, and a disapproving look. Or his new look, what am I doing here? When they bring him out with the Final Testament.
What am I doing here?
Cheapest big spender, still trying to take it home. I got the body of a 60+ Laparca. Well,
there you go.
In fairness, that's about as good as a 30+ Laparca.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look a whole lot different.
Mm-mm.
Next news item.
Do, 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 do.
Hey, we got some Skybound bits. That is coming up on May 8th, of course. That is tomorrow. Transformers 8, the Transformers trade paperback collecting issues 1 through 6, and the Energon Universe special for 2024. We got some dates on the collected trade paperbacks for the first 2 Joe miniseries. Looks like Duke is going to hit June 5. Cobra Commander is going to hit June 19. Those are off of the Image Comics website. So I know those dates have been up in the air. I am straight taking it off the website. There's no conjecture there. That's what they've got it listed as right now. As always, dates are subject to publisher change.
Did it say when Transformers 3 comes out? Because my local comic shop, I wasn't paying close enough attention, gave me 2 copies of issue 2 and no issue 3.
Oh, well.
It's a pull box, man. Ain't that hard? Come on.
You'd think so, but I have some thoughts in regards to pull boxes, so I'm going to keep those to myself.
I have given you a list, and I will pay you for all of these books if you put them in a space for me. It ain't that hard. Unless there's some intricacies to pull boxes that I don't understand. It's not that easy, man.
I'm not getting on that soapbox again. No.
All right, fair enough.
Next news item.
It's a quick one.
Hey, I was out moonlighting last week. I already made reference to it, but was out on the Joe on Joe podcast last week talking about the 1986 Beachhead. We also go into show lore and all kinds of other stuff. It's me and Slepsky. So at this point, I'm not so much a guest on his show as we're just getting together and talking about crap for an hour and something. But that's kind of how that goes. Be sure to check that one out. That is wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, he released it the day after last week's episode, so I couldn't plug it then. He goes on Wednesday. So it seems like I'm dropping the ball on this one, but I tried.
Shouldn't it be me? Shouldn't it be me on Joe? Since you're pumping it.
I mean, no, because I'm too lazy to change the graphic.
Nah, fair enough.
I mean, that's what he's calling it. So,
all right, fair enough. His show, his rules.
Yeah, it's not my deal. It's not my deal. Yeah. Anyways, there's stuff in the live chat I want to react to that I'm just not doing it.
You're letting it go.
I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Torpedo Mike noticing that I am plugging the damn show. That's how you do it. That's everybody should be taking notes on me plugging the damn show.
Man, don't believe everything you read in the chat.
Yeah. It's some misinformation in the chat. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Never trust a haircut and a smile.
Well, I mean, Mark, would you ever trust a haircut at this point?
I mean, I gotta be careful. You don't prune a dead tree.
Terry Desard in the chat tonight. Welcome, Terry.
Good to see Terry.
That's right. Battle Armor Cobra Commander Fred 7 would be amazing. Yeah, it would.
It would be.
There's still lots of meat on the classified bone that has not been sourced out yet. We freaking better get Flash, but there's still lots of great characters, lots of great incarnations of characters that have already been done, that have not been touched yet. So
between the Duke helmet with the visor and the Flash weapons with Glenda, they've tooled up all his gear. They just need to do the figure.
Well, that's the question though, because are they going to make the vest a secondary piece, or are they just going to mold it on? So you can have that brutal chest cut right in the chest protector, baby. You might actually be able to hide it in a seam because of all the padding, right?
You'd have thought that would have been the way they did it back in 25th anniversary, and it didn't really hide it too well, did it?
So bad. That figure was so bad.
It was good besides that brutal chest cut, but it was really a brutal chest cut.
Didn't it have shins that were longer than the thighs?
I don't think so.
I thought it had crazy wonky legs, but
no.
Maybe it's just the stirrups threw me.
Yeah. Flash had some weird pants going back to the day. I can't deny that.
Why is he wearing stirrups?
I don't know. I don't know. They never put him in those things in the comics. He was always in just normal boots.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the figure was Space 8. Snake Eyes version 1 had those same stirrup type thing going on. It was weird.
I guarantee in the pit, Hardball walked past both of them. It was like, that's messed up, yo.
Look, he just had the jersey on. He didn't do the socks.
Yeah. Or maybe he did. Who would know?
Yeah.
Just saying. Hey, Torpedo 83 breaks a record. It's the first time anybody's asked for Spy Troops anything in 8 years.
Greg Augustin, big fan of Joe on Joe there. Torpedo 80, yes. Spy Troops style in disguise CGs are what we need. That would be neat. I think he's a reference to the Duke and the Gung Ho and the Snake Eyes that had the CG helmets.
Yeah.
So that would be fine. That'd be cool. I mean, it gives you an excuse to sell the Crimson Guard again and just give them different heads. But
didn't Spy Troops have Shipwreck disguised as Cobra Commander?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how long is he going to pull that off? Master of Disguise Shipwreck.
Yeah, it was. They based the whole movie for that year out around it. Greg Augustin also shouting out Agent Faces, which would be a good use of that Crimson Guard body, because that's how he was introduced to us.
I think he was somebody real, like based off a real name at Hasbro or something.
I believe he was. I don't remember what the story is past that, but I believe you're right. At the very least, his face was molded after somebody who was working there at the time. But next news item.
Hey,
that's the end of the news. Be sure to catch the G.I. Joe 3D printing podcast for all your Chunky Tank Kitty and Meowler Tank news. We may still have some of that before we get to Joe Fest.
Ooh.
I'm not certain. I don't want to create expectations that are unable to be met. I'm not sure, but it's possible.
Here I am. I forget if it was the face, but the name Michelino J. Paulino. That's a design guy at Hasbro. Mick.
Okay. But again, be sure to check them out at the G.I. Joe 3D printing podcast for all your 3D printing podcast needs. I don't know. I only got so many outros on that. That's the news. And be sure to stick with us. We'll be right back after a quick word from our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
But remember, coming up at Joe Fest this year, our good friend Patchzar, he'll have these Staff Sergeant C-Nugs patch, flag waving patch available at Joe Fest at his booth. I'm not sure what the price is going to be on those. Be sure to get yours fast because there's only going to be 20, 25 of them. And I know we're buying at least 4 or 5 of them. So get yours while you still can. I don't know what those are going to cost. So we'll keep you in the loop as best we can.
Can you get them in a pack of 6 that come with only one sauce packet? Because that is garbage, McDonald's. One sauce bucket ain't enough for 6 nuggets, you cheap bastards.
Staff Sergeant C-Nugs is 1 nugget per sauce bucket because
Right.
he's an American.
You can't be asking them to share. That's gross. It's not even hygiene. There's no hygiene there, man.
It's not hygienic.
Mm-mm.
Mark II Design.
The packet.
Our friend Michael Kleppinger putting together these Staff Sergeant C-Nugs in action figures. They are also available at Joe Fest. We'll figure out where those are going to be available to you. Again, price and availability to be determined. There's going to be more of them than there are the patches. So be sure to keep your ear to the ground as far as these guys go. I think he's making 50 or 60 of these.
You better make my vamp cannon first. That's all I'm saying.
Relax. Look, that's Mike. Michael's doing these. Mark II Design is different. That's Mark.
Oh.
He'll do that.
Either way, I want my cannon.
You just settle it down. Quit making threats at our friends.
I want my cannon.
I will take you out of this live stream, mister. Take you right out.
It's happened before.
I know. Yeah. I always wind up letting you back in, so it can't be that bad.
Look, man, I've seen Biff McHonky bounce back 8 times in one show. So while it is proper chastisement, I'm not white knuckle worried about it. It's like a comic book death. Did you see they killed Colossus? Anyway.
Yeah.
He'll be
Like
back.
yeah. like killing Professor X at this point.
Jean Grey died. I'm more surprised that Jean Grey's alive. Let's be honest.
Right. Dizzy Rizzy asking us any predictions on when call sign Longbow figures might be forthcoming. Any insider info? Nothing for you yet. We've been in contact with Troy about coming back on the show and talking some call sign Longbow, and he's got some news, so I'm sure it's happening. Just be with, and welcome to the show. That's a new name, so thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Give us all the clicks. We need the clicks
and more Matchbox 20 lyrics, please.
And of course, the Welcome to Joe Fest and all of our other designs going back on sale starting tomorrow. So from May 8th to 12th, if you need that last minute Mother's Day gift idea right there, well, how about the What's on Joe Mind Greetings from Joe Fest t-shirt, which hasn't even happened yet, but it will soon. 35% off of t-shirts and this and all of our designs at the TeePublic swag store happening. Find the link down in the description below. But be sure to check that out. Get yours before you head out to Joe Fest this June to visit the pandemonium that will cause. And that is on sale again from May to 12. Deep discounts on all the other stuff, too. If you want coffee mugs or stickers or magnets, that stuff's all going to be marked down as well. So, Bart asks, the Mankini's still in stock, perhaps? Have to check that out on your own, man.
And the flamethrowers, where the real money from the movie is made.
I mean, yeah.
Kids love it.
It is. Anyways, we do have a visit into the old post sack this week as well.
Your posting sack.
Yeah. Hey guys, happy Arbor Day. Happy What's on Joe Mind birthday. Thank you. I recently bought a Desert Fox to repurpose for the October Guard. Gave it a repaint and stickers from Toy Hacks. Replaced the missiles with a drone and an obscenely big rocket for Horror Show. Also made a custom October Guard using a repainted Rise of Cobra Destro. Repurposed Roadblock from Retaliation and some Marauder Gunrunner figures and weapons. Head came from eBay, possibly AVAX Lab. I hope so, because AVAX Lab, if you'll remember, is a great place to get a little head. A bugger to paint their eyes with my 52-year-old eyes. This is from our good friend Jake Rose, our Facebook faithful Jake Rose. And we got a couple of pictures here. You can see the October Guard. You can see the Desert Fox. I took to calling it, I think it was the Ice Badger or something, or the Ice Bear, just to give it a different name, or the Tundra Bear. That's what it was. But we have, he sent us more pictures. I can't do them justice here, but we do have them, or will have them up at 11 p.m. on Instagram and Facebook. You can check them out at your leisure. Be sure to let Jake know what a great job he did on these figures in those spots. Again, they should be up once the show is done at 11 p.m. tonight. What do you think, Mark Weber?
I think that's really slick. I like it. You don't see the Desert Fox turned into much else, but it kind of screams it, because once it's not tan, it looks like a completely different vehicle. And it was one of the better later vehicles, right? I guess not that late, but
it's like squarely in that middle era.
Yeah, it feels like it doesn't quite get its due, right?
Yeah.
I like it better than the Off-Striker. I don't know if that's blasphemy, but
no, I think I'm with you there.
I like the Desert Fox.
It's a good Jeep. I mean, it's a...
He gave the machine gun and the turret an upgrade as well. I know you. I don't know if you can really tell that from that picture there. Again, those will be up on the Instagram and on Facebook later. Pretty
slick. Look, man, anybody who paints anything gets my respect. It's more than I'm willing to do.
Right. Anytime you wield a paintbrush, you're ahead of the customizing ability of this entire program. So, but yeah, Desert Fox is a great vehicle, and it does not get its due, and it just had the misfortune of following two pretty iconic land type, Jeep type vehicles. So,
and it came with the unfortunate driver.
The unfortunately named driver.
Yeah.
Right. and in his bright green and bright orange getup.
Yeah.
Skid Mark is just a guy who didn't make any sense at all. So you give that guy a better paint job, and we probably don't make fun of his name that much either.
Without a name and in black and white, he's a pretty cool looking thing.
Yeah,
but
with a decent color scheme, it would have gone a long way for him. But that was kind of where that sort of thing started to go off the rails a little bit.
Yeah. This guy's green and bright orange. Huh? What's he drive? The Desert Fox. Okay.
This cool ass tan 6-wheel drive thingamabob. Well,
but we borrowed our driver from the Adventure People.
Yeah. Sir
Not
James
to knock the Adventure
says,
People.
he looked good in the comic because they couldn't do fluorescent in the comics. That's all that is. There was just the constraints of comic book technology saved him. But great job, Jake. He's in the chat tonight, so be sure to give him his pat on the back there. And again, visit us at What's on Joe Mine on Instagram. Let him know what you think there too. And then, of course, Mark's trauma.
I
can't
Mark, why don't you help people out with this one?
Just saying. So Tim Roberts is the kid. We only would get, before we found the actual local comic shop in Bend, Oregon, Mon, we would get our comics from the spinner rack at Long's Drugs, and they would only get in one copy of G.I. Joe. I mean, the early ones, like single-digit issues. And Tim Roberts and I were always begging our parents to get us there to buy it before the other one would. So we were mortal comic book enemies in little Bend, Oregon, in like, I don't know, 4th and 5th grade. And then one time at a school like track meet for everybody, not just a track team, he tried a high jump. And he did the thing, instead of jumping at the beginning of the pad, so you clear the middle where the bar is a little bit lower, and then land on the big soft pole vault pit, he jumped in the middle, cleared the pit, and just disappeared out of the back. Just gone, like he fell to his doom. And I was the first one over there to check on my pal Tim, and I'm like, "You all right, man?" He's like, "Forget you, man. You're steal those Joe comics." Like, I wasn't stealing them. I'm just trying to get there first.
You got a full meltdown spurred on by your ability to buy G.I. Joe comics better than him.
Years later, this order popped up the other day at work, and I was a little surprised. Ooh, I'm gonna pack this one extra good. We don't want to. I
mean, in all likelihood, a completely different guy.
Yeah, probably. It's not that rare a name, right?
Yeah.
So, but okay.
But, too good of a coincidence to just ignore, especially if you're going to send us a clip of your inbox.
Oh boy.
And look, I even blacked out all the important, pertinent stuff.
There you go.
Look at me being responsible. Unfortunately, the gif of Roadblock gasping did not make the transition too well. We just got a picture of Roadblock looking slightly concerned.
Yeah, as he should be.
Way back in the day when we went, before we went video, this was the crux of an entire episode of What's on Joe Mine. I'm going to link that in the live chat here. That is it's episode 115, going back a few years, searching for Tim Roberts. We're going way back there, as we're on episode 308 now. Granted, we churn them out in a little bit of a different way these days, but yeah. So right there, you can go back, get some audio goodness in the early days of the Honcho, as he regaled Joe and I with the story of Tim Roberts for the very first time.
Yeah, let's hope we're in a good place. Nothing but love for Tim Roberts.
You keep saying that, but I keep waiting for him to find you.
He moved away before high school. I have no idea what happened to him. And how would you find a guy with that common name, right?
I mean, you're back in Bend like what, twice a year? He'll just be in Bend at some point.
Some of my favorite people live in Bend.
Tracking you down in Bend, Oregon.
Let me tell you something, man. When the Weber man get back to the Bend, Oregon, man, is a big party in the Bend, Oregon. Heavy.
Oh my God. I can't believe that we're making that a thing, but there it is.
Yeah, man.
Bend, Oregon, Jamaica, same place.
Yeah.
Same place.
Heaven on earth.
Andrew Galgan's late. Did he miss anything? Oh man, you missed everything.
Oh God.
I can't find the button. I'm not going back. I'm too tired tonight. I'm too wiped out to do the bit. Oh goodness. Daredevil Dave with a complaint.
Look at this.
Mark, I love Voliverse, but stands is the special gift for ordering on Eclipse Day. Come on, bro.
All right. Well, I'll take that. So the inside baseball. Not that I'm giving anything away. My family was going on a trip for the eclipse, and so that's why it was on my radar, because you could get the path of totality went right through New Hampshire, I think. So we went up, got the full thing. So it was on my radar, and I said, "Hey, there's going to be an eclipse day. It's going to get a lot of media, so it's a good day to do a run an eclipse sale." Eclipse being probably the most popular female character in Valiverse and Action Force. And Bobby loved the idea, but the nuts and bolts of the promotion was totally his. All the execution was him. I was just the kernel of the idea, and I liked what he did. Was there's a regular eclipse, there's a Warpath eclipse where she's a little more angry and decoed differently, and then there's like an accessory pack you can get with extra stuff and an extra head. And so the deal was, if you ordered on Eclipse Day at all, you got 15% off your order, right? Everybody got 15% off on Eclipse Day. And if you ordered an Eclipse item, then you got a free item thrown in. And kind of depending on the depth of your order, people got a lot of different things. A $300 order got a better free item than a $20 order. And so the stands that we sell, there's 4 of them in a pack. They're pretty big. They're robust. They're different colors. They're a $10 value, and a lot of people with smaller orders got stands. But what I like about it was hardly anybody could legitimately complain about what they got, because what they got was 15% off their entire order. The free gift was exactly what it was, free gift. So,
as Andrew Galgan notes in the free gift is free gift.
Yep, that's it. And did it change if you spent $300?
Free gift was stands.
There you go. Did it change if you got $300? Yeah, you bet it did. So
Bart also got stands.
There you go. How much you guys spend?
Enough to take advantage of 15%. I don't think they're complaining.
Wow.
I don't think those are complaints. I think those are just again, free gift is free gift.
There you go. It was a big sale. We did a lot. The UPS driver not happy with us that day, but what are you gonna do?
Rack time, Rob. What'd you get in?
Nothing.
What
the hell, Rack time, Rob?
I mean, I got the Energon Universe special on Free Comic Book Day. That was about it.
Are you broke? Come on.
Well, that's something.
I can't
remember. I've been on quite a run lately. I had to take a breather.
I can't remember the last time you got shut out. Crazy.
Mark Weber, what'd you get in?
I mean, my stuff's old, but I showed off everything from the pile of loot delivery the other week, because it's all behind me in there. But I forgot 2 things. This was like a $3 thing, right? Like, Boba Fett, Mandalorian. It was on
the big window. I'm sorry, I'm asleep at the wheel here.
Right. It was a big sale, a Big Bad Toy Store. So this thing was like $3. So yeah, Boba Fett. That's what I used to pay for a Boba Fett figure. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know what? It's not bad. Nothing wrong with it. He's a little overplayed these days, but I'm digging it. So Boba Fett's in. And then from Boss Fight, because in my spare time, what there is of it, you might see me as a paladin on EverQuest, right? This guy's a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those. They're cool.
Woo.
Yeah.
It might be the entry drug, because I might have to get the horse too. But if you check him out, you probably can't tell, but he's a friggin' redhead, dude. So, and is my EverQuest paladin a redhead? Of course he is. Why would you make him red? To quote Ice Pirates? Because I wanted him to be perfect. There you go.
The Ice Pirate. Ironic that you're comparing perfection with the Ice Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil Dave does want you to know he's just giving you a hard time.
If it wasn't for Daredevil Dave, we wouldn't have known that Bend, Oregon was Jamaican man.
Right.
He's always good with me.
So I bought something last week that had an adventure in getting here. I'm pulling out my phone so I can give you the entire path. It was sent from its place of origin, and it arrived in Indianapolis at the distribution center on April 30th, at which point it was sent to, and mind you, we are right outside Indianapolis. Like anytime I'm tracking shipping, it's going from Indianapolis to our town directly, because it's just literally you cross 96th Street and here you are. So this, and I mean, even the postal facility is even on the north side of town, so it doesn't even have to go that far. This one went from Indianapolis up north to Huntington, Indiana, which is apparently way up close to the Michigan border. Then it went from Huntington to Fort Wayne, which is getting closer, but still 2 hours north of here. Then back to Indianapolis.
Okay.
So we're knocking on the door, and then they sent it back out again to Wabash, which is way up where my brother lives. Our other brother Jim is up in that South Bend area, and then finally back to Indianapolis. It showed up today. They told me it was going to show up Thursday, so it's so late that it's early. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it live.
Oh boy, frequent flyer miles for that son of a bitch.
I know, my goodness.
Careful with the knife.
Yeah. This knife is so not sharp. I could probably just try to stab myself in the arm with it. It would not do much. Just openly, just
right. Cut toward yourself. Why does it say Susan on the side?
Good question.
Just saying.
It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah. So not only does the box get around, but Susan gets around. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Hey.
Maybe the box went to see Susan.
Maybe.
And again, not a problem with the seller. The seller did everything right. We're good there. It's somebody I've bought from before and will buy from again, in all likelihood. They don't sponsor the show, so I'm not giving them the shout.
Mm-mm.
We now have a roll of plastic wrap.
It's a pet rock.
Wrap. Now I do have to make sure I'm being careful.
It's gonna be bad, or awesome, depending.
I mean, it's packed well. We cannot argue.
Yep. Gore equals ratings, I'm told. Just saying.
Pet rock.
Josiah Alcorn asking, what would I name my box? I would name my box Susan. Clearly, it came. I'm not going to want to make it uncomfortable. But here he is. It's Beachhead number 155, and it's an Iron Grenadier.
Ooh,
from 1988.
Yep.
An Iron Grenadier.
Right. So we'll get. Let me get him all geared up here. He's got his little easily pre-lost gun.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fitting in that hand.
But the other one doesn't either. Be careful.
Well, that's just it. This monster Uzi probably stretched out his hand.
Oh.
So
careful.
I do love this Uzi though.
It's a great gun. They just need to make the handle a little less oppressive.
Yeah, it fits very easily in the left hand.
There you go. Apparently he's left-handed.
He's the lefty. See if maybe the laser pistol fits in his right hand. Well, better than it does the left hand. So, and he's got his He's got his sword and it falls off of his belt real easily, but there he is.
His sword.
Gun fella. It's stuck in my keyboard now.
Go. I love the Iron Grenadier. One of my all-time favorite troop builders.
Yeah, he's a good one, and for some reason, real affordable lately. I don't get what's up with that. He was always kind of tough to find, in good shape, but that one doesn't have the normal gold paint problems, or anything like that. He was surprisingly affordable. And then we got Beachhead here. He looks like he's in good shape. Paint's good. No scuffs or anything.
He's easily in the top 60 of your beachheads.
Probably at first glance, top half easy. Top 80, no question.
The top 150.
And but there he is with all his gear. There's the bag hanging on the backpack, Mark.
You can tuck it under though, and it'll stay put.
Yeah, a little bit.
But you'll stretch it out. Maybe don't do that to a 40-year-old toy.
Yeah, it's not all of them do that. So this one's a little bit too long as it is. So.
Look at me mansplaining the beachhead figure to Mike here.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's kind of ridiculous.
It's like that dealer who tried to tell me why they were rare.
Right? It's so rare.
Trying to soak me for $75 for a.
Because the Joe line was just getting launched in mid '86.
Yeah,
so they didn't make that many.
It was They were really struggling to sell figures in '86. It was just a fledgling, floundering kind of line. It was terrible.
I believe he was a mail-in figure.
I think it was something along those lines. It was, but he was clearly they only made 12 beachheads. Right. So if you're lucky enough to have one of them, woo, truly, not that 86 and 87 weren't the two biggest sales years for 4-inch Joes the entire line or anything.
They only made 12 and 10 of them are for sale at that show.
Right.
It's a really good show.
I only bought 5 other ones for half of that, but sure, that's fine. Anyways, Bart says, now Mike's driving up the price Iron Grenadiers. You know it. You know it. That's how that works, baby. But yeah, so I guess I got to play the button now. That's right. It's segment in a segment. What do you say we get out of here on time, fellas?
Ooh,
what?
Right. Look at that. Look at that counter going. It's just an hour 47. Shout outs, Rack Time, Rob.
Shout out to the studio audience. Go out and play. We're getting you out early today.
Good turnout tonight. Wish there was more to talk about. What else we got, Rack Time, Rob? Is that it?
That's about it.
Andrew Galgan asks, when will the madness end? I don't know.
That's a tough question.
Right. I have no answers for that. Mark Weber, shout it out.
Well, it's a simple one, but one close to my heart. I usually hang a Joe something or other back behind me, but when it's the Eternal Baseball podcast, I put up a baseball jersey back there. But tonight, that's Barrington Youth Soccer Association's number 25. That's my son's jersey. And his last home game is this coming Sunday night. So 12 years of soccer that I managed some of the teams. I only coached him at his school, not his town team. But BYSA has been really good for both my kids. And it's one of the absolute joys of parenthood is when you share something you love with your kids and they love it too. And neither one of them jumped on the G.I. Joe bandwagon. But my son Derek is a Transformers kid.
They all picked up on the weird stuff.
Yeah, Elizabeth jumped on X-Men, so that's fine. And Derek, and they both like comics and Marvel stuff. But Derek is all over Transformers, but they're both fantastic soccer players. So I was very conscious with my son heading away to college in August, counting down the games where I got to actually cheer from the sideline. So Sunday is the home finale for Derek Weber, whose name starts with D because that's what he plays. So kudos to him for wrapping up an outstanding soccer career here in Barrington.
And congratulations there. And why is he so stuck on defense, Mark Weber?
Because I was. Because I wanted them to be goal scorers. Because goal scorers, you only have to succeed once a game, and you're a golden god. Whereas a defender, you got to be flawless for 90 minutes, or you had a tough game. So that high wire act, I dug that. And I really hope my kids would become goal scorers when they were young, and they wanted nothing to do with it. One of my favorite bits when Derek was in elementary school, we had visit your son's or daughter's classroom thing, and they had dressed up their desk and written like a paragraph about themselves. And he said, "I'm Derek Weber. I'm a good soccer player. I like to kick the ball hard." And I'm like, that's my boy. And then the next line I'll never forget. He said, "I imagine kicking the ball off the face of the earth."
Which technically he's doing every time he kicks it.
Yeah, really, right? But it was almost like a psychotic break in the middle of his third grade paragraph. And I just dug that, right? It was pretty cool. So
when I was a little kid playing youth soccer, I got stuck in the goal because they found out that I could drop kick a ball a mile.
Oh, there you go.
So that was I wound up being a pretty decent goalie. I wasn't always the fat kid. But I wound up being a decent goalie. But man, I got stuck on some bad teams.
Right.
And when you're 11 years old and you're taking 50 shots a game and one gets past you and you lose, and the coach screams your head off because it's just standing right there in front of everybody, it kind of turns you off.
It's kind of It's baseball the same way for me. I love baseball, but I couldn't hit. And I just had a flaw. I was turning my head as I swung. I was essentially hitting blind, and no one fixed it. So that was the end of my baseball career, was the year kids started pitching and I stopped hitting. And man, I wish somebody would have fixed that. I don't know if I would have been any good, but I would like to have had the shot.
Rob had a flaw playing youth baseball in that he hit left-handed. So the kid would just peg him every other time. He just got drilled.
Rob isn't left-handed though, is he?
No, he's right-handed and everything else, but he bats left-handed.
Okay.
It always makes for a fun visit when we get into slow pitch softball games, when the whole world just shifts over to the other side of the diamond because he's the one guy. But
I found out like in 8th grade, ironically, over the grave of Tim Roberts, that I was a pretty good high jumper. So I went out. I went out for track as a freshman and went out to high jump, and there was a line of like 14 kids waiting to jump from the right side. And I'm like, nuts to that. I'll jump from the left side, which is totally weird. Nobody does that, but it meant I never had to wait for my turn, right? Outstanding. Lefty high jumper. Who knew?
Hey, whatever. But Yorktown Joe wants you to know, Mark. He loved the pic of your son dodging the laser while kicking. That's on Mark's Facebook page. So if you're connected to him there, be sure to check that out.
A little more nostalgic these days, so I'm taking more photos and making sure I really enjoy this last year, because you can play soccer your whole life, right? But I don't want to drill in too hard the idea that it'll never be this good again. With good coaching and mode fields and line fields and actual refs and schedules, and once you're done playing it for a school, it's kind of pickup, and it's never quite the same.
Yeah, adult recreational soccer has a lot more daiquiris involved, which I mean it's fun, but
it's got that code for it, which is nice.
Yeah, it takes away a little bit from the integrity of that game.
One time in Phoenix in my adult league, I slid and just ripped my knee and thigh up, just gravel like crazy. And then 3 days later, we went to an Angels spring training game, and their overflow parking was on the prior. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it.
It all makes sense.
Yep. Cool. So we literally play in a parking lot. That's great.
I am going to reiterate Rob's shout out to our studio audience. Thank you so much for joining us live. We do appreciate you. Be sure to leave us a big boy comment down below as well on your way out. Don't just leave it in the live chat. Just give it, the ones below the comments, below the description. they count for more with the folks over at YouTube. If you catch us on the Facebook tonight, be sure to give us some kind of reaction. Give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. If you're catching us on YouTube, as well as leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe. Do all those cool YouTube things. We're getting a little lax with clicks lately. We did better with the likes last week, but let's do some of the other stuff too. Let's make sure that we're spreading the videos around, getting everybody in on the best kept secret in the G.I. Joe community. Which somehow has been going for 13 years now. What's on Joe Mind? Diana Davis says, but I'm not a big boy. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. It's a big girl comment. You got me. I concede. It's not as funny to say.
Big person comment
down below. I mean,
hey man, our show's big with the female demographic.
That's true. We have like 2, which it is. That's kind of a lot.
Ladies love cool. What's on Joe Mind? What can I say?
It's the truth. We got like 2. I can verify 2.
Cool. Watch them.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to our.
There's plenty of names over there that might be
right.
We don't know.
Give a shout out to our friend Brian, Hooded Cobra Commander 788. We're thinking of you as you make your journey to better mental health. We want to give a shout out to our friends Eric and Katrina Aranya, who left Boss Fight Studio last week. Congratulations on graduating, I guess, and best of luck to you in your next walk of life. I'm sure you will kill it, whatever it may be. There's any number of creative type companies that would be lucky to have either or both of you.
Yep.
Dustin Jeffrey says, sometimes my wife watches when I won't let her leave the room.
So it's sort of an architectural Dutch oven, sort of.
Well, okay.
And that would make us the smell.
Right.
That's about right.
Give a shout out to our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys. Real quick, we'll sing the theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo
Toys.
I didn't hear you on that one, Biff McHonky Dunk, but I guess we'll have a try later, some other time. Anyways. Diana Davis says something offended Claude. He's jumped off the chair and retired to his room. Probably that smell
us.
again. Probably that smell again.
It's a Dutch oven.
It's the Dutch oven, after all. It's
hey, our good buddy D was in the the comments tonight. So
yeah, the Beish was here. He's one of the few people that's seen our apartment. That puts him on a very short list. As Rob stops to think about it, like, yeah, as we are hermits.
Waiting for my invite.
You can come by anytime. I'm not sure where we'd put you at this point, but
in the room behind Rob. Doors open.
Well, it's called the closet, and
yeah, it would fit you, but it wouldn't be real comfortable.
Technically, it's called the guest room.
Yeah. D notes that Rob makes an awesome pot of pie. Yeah, he does. Rob can work his way around a sauce, so it's the man's in his later in life, he has taught himself how to cook. Earlier, he was not capable of working a toaster, and we were worried about him. But he has.
It's not that I wasn't capable of working a toaster. It's just basically, when I was working 3 jobs, I was like, yeah, I don't have time to make anything.
He was incapable of working a toaster, and but he's turned himself into a pretty good cook. So we gotta give props on that one. But that's about it. If you got anything left, you're too late. For my guest host, there's no guest host. For my co-hosts, Rob Irizarry and the honcho Mark Weber, I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. Be sure to join us next week for another episode of What's on Joe Mind. As our friend Vagon likes to say, hey, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Until then, have a great rest of the week. Yo, Joe.
Beer.